You know, I am super stoked about something we're going to do this weekend that we have never done before at church, to my knowledge. We haven't done it in the 30 years that I have been there. We're going to wrap up our One Another relationship series by having a panel of relationship experts on stage answering your questions about relationships anonymously, but you can email them to me, Rene, R-E-N-E, at tlc.org. I'm super stoked about that. As I said, we're wrapping up the relationship series this weekend, and then the following weekend is going to be World Outreach Week. We have another very special thing planned, very unique. We are going to take you around the globe in the weekend services, and then we're going to start a 7-week series leading up to Easter on the final 7 days of the life of Christ before the cross. And then after Easter, we're going to do verse by verse through Ephesians. So many exciting things coming up. The Saturday before Mother's Day, we're going to have an all-day Bible conference. We're going to bring in great Bible teachers from all over the country for that. You're going to get more details about all this stuff coming up. But man, we got a head of steam going. The momentum is going forward at Twin Lakes Church. Hope you join us. As I said, we're wrapping up the relationship series. And I want to wrap up by reading something from a devotional book that I take advantage of from time to time. It's called Emotionally Healthy Relationships Day by Day. And they just make such a great point in one of the chapters in this book. And here we go. I'm going to read this to you. Loving others begins with loving God. This author writes, a number of years ago, a friend who had quit attending church asked me, why is it that so many Christians make such lousy human beings? In other words, why do so many Christians come across as judgmental and defensive and touchy? Well, he writes, I believe part of the reason stems from the fact that we so readily compartmentalize loving God from loving others. This was something the religious leaders in Jesus' day did as well. They were diligent and zealous to serve God and to love God, but they were not equally diligent to love people and serve people. And of course, this puts them on a collision course with Jesus, because Jesus summarizes the whole Bible with the words love God and love people. And Jesus also linked our ability to love people to bear witness to him in our world. He said, everyone will know you are my disciples if you love one another. John 13:35, the key verse to this One Another series. In other words, when we don't do one anothering well, the implications go far beyond our personal lives, our happiness, our neighborhoods, or even our churches. When we don't do one anothering well, the beauty of Jesus is tarnished to the world. You know, the criticisms that non-Christians have of Christians are usually pretty valid. Usually they're calling us to account for the fact that we are not acting more like Jesus acted. And if we call ourselves Christians, they allege you ought to act more like Jesus. And I think that's a good point, because Jesus did one anothering very well. So let's be the church that's known for loving one another. We're going to talk very specifically about what that means in church this weekend. Hope you can join us. God bless.